What's up guys, it's Justin here and welcome to my last video of 2017. So I just wanted to make this video as chill as possible. I tried to film this in my car a few times, but my mic had issues and stuff like that. So I decided just to sit down and talk to you guys and talk about the year of 2017, some advice I have for you guys, and also the goals that I have for 2018. I think it's one thing to talk about my year, but I think the most important thing that I want to include in this video is some advice for you guys and things that you guys will find valuable based on what I learned this year towards my business and life. So some of you guys have been subscribed to me since last year. You might remember that the end of year video last year was sort of a mood of reflection and kind of a planning phase as to what went wrong the entire year. And it really just made me step back and take a look at what exactly I did wrong and take that as motivation as to how I can change and make better content in order to reach a new goal. Even though I made about 80 videos this year, and that is a pretty respectable number for a YouTube channel, the root of my problem that I had determined was the fact that my content was just not that exciting. It was a year where I consistently created a lot of videos. I think I made about 90 videos last year, which is more than I made this year. But those videos were very repetitive, they were rushed, it just wasn't content that people wanted to see, and the numbers definitely showed that. And it just really didn't hit me until December when I realized that I was completely going on the wrong path. I essentially had fallen off from the tech community, and I just wasn't sure if YouTube was my thing, whether I was still interested in it, and whether or not I was good at it or passionate about it. It was just a time where you feel a bit lost about what you're doing and what you want to do with your life. I mean, I was 19 at the time, so I'm personally someone who doesn't really believe in New Year's resolutions. I do make a couple of them, but I feel like at any point of your life, you can make changes. You don't really have to wait until January 1st of a new year to do so. And if you look at it, it's just another day and it's all in your head. Like, you wake up on January 1st, I don't think anyone can really say they feel like a new person. Most people probably wake up hungover. I'm gonna say that I'm personally an advocate of making a change at any point of your life. Doesn't matter what day of the week it is, what month, what year, and just kind of evolve into that. There's no such thing as jumping into a new change right away. You kind of have to figure out a plan and the steps it takes in order to get yourself in a new type of habit or lifestyle. 2016 though was one of those years where I just needed that reset button. It was a year that I just wasn't really in a good mood for the entire month of December. I was just, like I said, completely lost. So January 1st was a reset button where I made a list of things that I had to do in order to kind of test out what I needed to do next with my YouTube channel and the content that I wanted to create and be happy and excited to create. Some other things that have also happened this year, which I would say are pretty major and that I'm really proud of, is that I moved into my own apartment, a 2-bedroom place, and I've turned one side into my office, the master bedroom, and the other side into my bedroom, which you guys are seeing this video right now. I definitely need to add some decor and stuff back there because I've been filming here more often, but I hope you guys enjoyed some of those tours, including my living room one that's coming up. There's the office tour and the bedroom tour that's already out. And of course, once I get the whole place done and painted, decorated, then I will do the entire apartment tour, which I'm really excited to show you guys. I hope you love it as much as I do. And honestly, this place has made me really happy. I mean, I wake up really grateful every day that I'm able to, through YouTube, have a place like this to myself. What I really love most about this place is that I was able to customize every aspect of it. The color of the walls, the furniture that I want to get, the decor I wanted to get. Because at my parents' house, we had a bit of a different style and personality as to how I wanted to design certain things. So my parents let me mess around with the basement office, but otherwise the entire house was unmodifiable, which is totally understandable. One of my goals this year was also to get myself a new car, and I had my previous car for about 2 years, but I remember the day I bought that car, I said, in 2 years, I want to get myself something better, and it does sound ungrateful, but it is all my money. My parents didn't pay anything for the new car that I leased, and I just decided that I kind of wanted an upgrade, something that I can just drive to school every single day and just be very happy about. So those are the two major things this year from a material standpoint. The reason why I wanted to bring that up though isn't because I want to brag or anything, but I just want to say or kind of address some of the comments on the videos that say like, your life is amazing, like, I want to be you, you have nice clothes, so many shoes, a nice apartment, a car. and like this is the best life. And I will say that I am very grateful. I am glad to have the freedom that I have, and I do work very hard for it. I give up so much to be able to chase this dream and be able to do this every single day, and that's really something that I want to carry over as long as possible. But at the same time, life just isn't perfect. You can have as many shoes, as many clothes, as many of this and that tech as you want, but there are still things in your life that bother you, and the fact that you are successful, not saying that I am, doesn't change a lot of that at all. By having these luxuries at such a young age that some people work their entire lives for is nice, but at the same time, you put a lot of pressure on yourself. There's also school that my parents want me to graduate from, and there's just a constant amount of stress that goes on in terms of trying to meet your own expectations, and when you reach one height, you instantly want to reach the other. I mean, we're approaching 300,000 subscribers, but at no point am I ever going to be satisfied. I'm very grateful, but I'm never going to be satisfied because, I mean, there's YouTubers out there with 50 million subscribers, and as an entrepreneur or a competitive person, your goal is always to be the best. As much as people always say it's important to be the best version of yourself, you just can't help but want to be the best in the entire industry, especially if you're so passionate about it. I mean, life is precious, time is priceless, and I mean, you need to live every day like it's your last, and it's important to seize the moment, but at the same time, I just want to look to the future as well, because I'm only 20 right now, and there's just so many years left that I want to set myself up as well as possible from a career and lifestyle standpoint. I think it's just really important to find a purpose in what you want to do and who you do it for, what you do it for, and why you do it. And that is just something that I've been trying to realize lately and will have to try to figure out in 2018. And I live a really busy life. I have 5 third-year business university classes, a couple accounting classes that I honestly didn't do that well on, and school just isn't my priority. I just don't really believe in the system. I don't really agree with how they're teaching it and what they're teaching. The marketing class, for example, is really outdated. So my parents want me to graduate, but I'm kind of just getting grades that are good enough to get by and focusing all my other time on my business. I mean, I get back from school like 3 to 4 each day. I'm really tired, don't really want to film anymore, but I still need to. And then I edit throughout the week. I got to keep this apartment clean. I also moved halfway in the semester. So it's definitely a lot. It's taken a toll on me many times before. I lack on sleep. My diet is terrible. I don't exercise at all. And I just need to figure out a balance. I also don't have any social life, if you probably realized, and a lot of times I'm kind of just living that boring life where I'm sitting at home, editing, working, cleaning up, and never have time to watch TV or do anything fun. I do watch a lot of YouTube videos during the day. What you guys see is the content, me being happy, but at the end of the day, in order to maintain this dream and chase the goal, it is a lot of work, and I just really wanted to emphasize that because a lot of times people see YouTubers and say like, wow, that's a dream job. This guy has an easy life. He just has to make some videos each week and he's making a lot of money off of it. And I just wanted to kind of put everything into reality that everything good and everything that seems easy requires a ton of hard work. I worked like 3, 4, 5 years, I believe, before I started making any money to break even on my YouTube channel. Before that, it was a complete loss. I was losing money with every phone I bought. And my mom was getting pretty mad at me, like, you're wasting all your money, you're young, like, stop buying these phones. But I think she's okay with it now. I can say that sitting here at the end of 2017, a lot of those things that I set for myself at the beginning of the year based on habits, I have met and have consistently carried out through the entire year. I essentially worked every single day this year. I can't remember a single day where I stopped and just didn't do anything. And YouTube and just creating stuff and doing stuff is what makes me happy and what I love, and essentially is what has allowed me to have the freedom in my life to get the things that I want, live nicely, and I just love to work. So I can say that 2016 was a year where I created a lot of videos, but there just wasn't much passion going into the content I was making. It just wasn't exciting. And by changing that at the start of 2017 and getting in the habit of that, I've been able to make videos that I've been much more happy with, had more fun making, and as a result of that, I'm sure you guys kind of noticed that, and the videos have been doing much better. A big part of this year was also travel, and something that I want to continue to do, but at the same time, you guys have to remember that I am a full-time university student. I have 5 to 6 classes per semester, So travel is quite limited, and my trips were up to 1 week, but most of them were actually only 2 to 4 days. So in total this year, I went on 15 trips to, I believe, 11 different cities. I have no idea, but the stops that I went were Vancouver, like a lot of times. I went to Toronto 3 times. I went to LA 3 times, I believe. I went to San Francisco once, New York once, and also Montreal once. And each and every trip was just kind of a new experience. Some of them I booked myself just to kind of have a getaway, while others were companies taking me on trips or even hiring me to do campaigns on these trips, which is just something so incredible. Being able to be paid to travel, it's something that I worked very hard for, but it's something that I just have to pinch myself every single time because yes, I am doing work, but at the same time, I'm literally traveling for free. A couple other very memorable trips, for example, were VidCon. I went to my first VidCon, which was kind of a new experience. I mean, the convention itself is a bit weird, but some of the events, the networking stuff that goes around it, and having the meetings down there was pretty cool, and I think I will go again. I just love to go to LA, as you guys can tell. And I also went to ComplexCon with Intel last month, and that was just so awesome, not only because of the tech side of things, but actually streetwear. Like, I love streetwear. I'm really into shoes, clothes, and you guys seem to really like content related to that based on my everyday carry video, so I really appreciate the feedback on that. But ComplexCon was definitely a really fun trip, but I think the trip that was like the craziest, most eye-opening thing was going to Formula E in Montreal and Toronto with Jaguar Land Rover Canada, where they essentially flew me out, put me in 5-star hotels for the entire week, and just be able to hang out with auto journalists, go to all these press parties that they set up, and just be at the paddock, the VIP suite of the Formula E race, was something that I just like never got to see a side of before, and it was definitely the craziest brand trip that I've ever done. And I also really like cars as well. I'm not really an enthusiast, I don't know that much about them, but I love cars, and I'm always looking at them, I'm always wanting to drive them and stuff like that. My goal for next year, of course, is to travel more, and if you guys noticed the lineup of places that I went to, I didn't leave North America. And honestly, I'm not a big fan of long flights, so I think I will stay within North America because I have a lot of school-related stuff, but maybe putting in one international trip in 2018 would be nice. I've always wanted to go to Iceland, or maybe some part of Southeast Asia. I don't really know. But Europe is definitely on that list too because of all the fashion stuff over there. I also really want to go to New York. I might go to New York Fashion Week or something just for fun, and obviously California. I actually just got back from like a 3-day trip to San Francisco through Christmas where I kind of just walked around and did nothing, chilled out, and that was essentially like the only break that I had this year. But now I'm back, I've got a ton of videos that I've just been staying up all day trying to finish. I've eaten like 1 meal a day and haven't left the house in a couple days, so there's that. Another very important aspect of life though is learning, and whether you're perfecting your craft or just working on fulfilling certain things that you've worked so hard for, it is really important to sometimes take the time to step back and learn to get better at what you're doing. And a great way to do that is through audiobooks, especially if you don't have time to really sit down and read like me. Audible is a great way to do that, and they have an unmatched selection of audiobooks in many different categories, whether it's business, motivational. I personally listened to the book Side Hustle quite a few times because it talks a lot about building a business from scratch, and even though I already have a business that is sustainable, I still feel like there's many ways that I can learn based on people who are just getting started and the advice that is given for that. It just goes into a lot of real life scenarios, which is nice, and for those who are setting a goal for themselves to start a business in 2018, I think the book Side Hustle is a great option. Audible lets you keep your library, so even if you cancel your subscription, you still have all the audiobooks that you have, and it's also easy to exchange your books for free at any time. Audible is offering you guys a free 30-day trial and free audiobook by going to the link audible.com/JustinSay. You can browse our unmatched selection of audio programs and download a title for free to start listening today. And once again, that's audible.com/JustinSay. And you can also text a promo code JustinSay to 500 to get your free trial. I think actively learning is a great habit to add to 2018, and I would like to give a huge thanks to Audible for sponsoring this video. From a content perspective, you guys might have noticed that I sit in front of the camera for every single video this year, and I'm normally not someone who likes to sit in front of the camera. I don't feel comfortable doing it. I don't feel like I'm getting my thoughts out the way I would like to. But I think with practice that will get better, and hopefully I am getting a bit better. I honestly don't really notice it, but you guys are the ones watching. But I feel like the personalized feel and more of the lifestyle and personality integration into content has been what you guys have responded better to. Especially recently, you guys saw the travel vlog and also the day in life kind of video, the everyday carry, where I kind of tried to integrate pieces of my life outside of tech, because I am into consumer tech, but I love streetwear, shoes, and stuff like that just as much. I also love cars, and I think a lot of my demographic is around the same age as me and have similar interests. So I was actually really surprised by the great feedback of including streetwear in some videos, which I was very surprised about. I thought a lot of you guys would say like, we don't care about clothes and shoes. But based on your important comments and feedback, I'll be including more of that in my future videos, including possibly a closet and shoe collection video. I think next year though, I just really want to do more lifestyle and personalized related content. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere in terms of tech. Every video will still have tech in it, whether it's travel or lifestyle based, but just including other parts. I'm really into food as well and travel, so being able to record like short cinematic vlogs, which I'm still trying to get better at. The video quality of the first one was decent, but definitely could have been better. I want to just include more of that into my content in 2018 because it's just more fun to produce, but also has something special for you guys to watch in each video because there are a ton of tech YouTubers out there. I want to talk about how I set goals for myself in 2017 and the tips that I have for you guys who want to set goals for 2018. So the position I was at the end of last year was sort of recovery phase. The channel just really wasn't in good state. My future didn't look very bright anymore. And considering I hit 100,000 subscribers in 2014, I was just at a state of realization that after 2 years, the channel had gone nowhere and I just completely messed up. So the ground rules that I set myself for 2017, first and foremost, was to be as consistent as possible. 1 video a week minimum, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 4, but to ensure that every video was one that I wanted to make and enjoyed making. So every single week I made a video. I had 5 classes and I was literally filming on Friday nights and editing on Saturdays. And I remember not eating most days on Saturday until like 4 p.m. because I had to get the video out for Saturday. And that was very tiring, but eventually I kind of got used to it. And I think with anything in life, we're humans and we need to develop habits and routines. So my habit and routine was to wake up every day and just grind out videos. I mean, to spend more time planning videos well in advance, making notes, figuring out how I want to film, making a list for shots, and just making sure no matter what, I was uploading every single Saturday, whether I had a new product or not. And that was definitely something that took a couple months to get used to, but once you kind of do it for weeks and weeks and weeks in a row, some people are faster than others at developing routines and habits. I kind of just got used to it and it became second nature, and I can say at the end of the year right now, I'm working just as hard as I was at the beginning of the year. The second thing was to not focus on numbers. So it was easy to maybe set a goal for myself, like I want to hit 200,000 subscribers, but I kind of just decided to make videos and be very adaptive to change. So if a specific video or style didn't get good responses, I would make that change right away, but still have kind of the personal aspect in the video to the point where I liked it as well. And I think that's just really important, not to focus too much on the numbers, because if you're creating content that you're genuinely passionate about, people will see that and the numbers will come after. I would say that the adjustment period for me took about 3 to 4 months before I started seeing some better results. And if you look at the channel stats throughout the year, it has been on a good upward rise, but there's definitely still a lot more things that I need to do because I am growing, but there's just always room for improvement for anything, even if you're at the top. I think the biggest thing of all though is your mentality. Whether you're hardworking or lazy, it's going to make the biggest difference on your business, your life, just by the way you look at life, the way you look at things, and what you're passionate about. Your approach is the most important thing. By looking at content as something that I wanted to create as opposed to what I had to create is what enabled me to produce better videos that were more enjoyable to watch, because you just can't fake passion. If you don't like it, people are going to see it and it's just going to shine through your content and it's not going to do well. I'm just glad that I came into the realization of that, and at the point where I was enjoying making videos again, I was kind of being a bit passive and cautious as to not getting carried away again, and I can say that sitting here in December now, I'm having more fun making videos than ever before. Being a very stubborn person though, it is hard to just sit here and say that you need to be adaptive to change. I definitely have troubles, and I still have troubles being adaptive to change, moving on from things that bother me. So I think just always being very honest with yourself is the best way to realize what changes you need to make from a mentality standpoint and approach. So now, what are my goals for 2018? And I don't really have a manifesto for this year. I kind of did last year, which was to completely overhaul my business and try to just redo everything, start making videos that were exciting again. But I think for 2018, it's to focus on the aspects of life that I kind of put aside for most of 2017. I think it's to focus on my own well-being, also my health. I'm not unhealthy, but I just don't exercise. I don't look that healthy, and I also just don't eat that well. I don't focus on my diet. So I think focusing on that, but also my mental state and my overall happiness beyond material things is what I really want to focus on in 2018. I think I've kind of nailed down the aspect of being consistent and hardworking for most of 2017, and it's going to carry over into 2018. But just continuing to be adaptive in my content and what I create is going to be very important, but also just learning to grow up. I mean, moving into my apartment, I've kind of learned that stuff breaks, stuff has to be cleaned, which is things that I didn't really realize back when I lived at my parents' house because they were kind of doing everything. And also cooking. I need to learn how to cook. I still haven't made a single meal at this apartment, and I've lived here for 3 months. I've kind of just gone meal by meal. Maybe go back to my parents' house to eat, or just go downstairs to Starbucks or buy stuff. And also just, I don't know. I think moving out is such a great thing. It is expensive. You're going to realize a lot of things, but the only way to really learn these things is to do it, to move out. And it is scary at first. I took a long time to move all my stuff over because my parents live locally as well, so I didn't really feel the urge to move over in one day. But I've definitely learned a lot of things from moving out, and I also kind of want to get a puppy in 2018. It's all just about perfect timing. I mean, right now with school, I'm in classes from like the morning to afternoon. I spend as little time at school as possible. I just want to be able to love the puppy that I get as much as possible. I want him to have an amazing life. I'm going to spoil the crap out of him. The dog's going to be a hype beast as well with all the clothing and stuff. I kind of want to get a French bulldog, but I think I need to at least finish third year university first, mid next year, before I can look into getting a dog. Because right now my schedule is just way too hectic. School is really busy. I travel more often than a dog owner should, especially because I don't really know anyone who can take care of him. My parents aren't really a fan of animals around the house. So that is definitely something that I've been wanting my entire life, so I hope I do get a puppy in 2018. Otherwise, I hope you guys had an amazing year and are able to set goals for yourself that make you happy, but also very proud of what you're able to achieve. And like I said, you can make a change at any point of your life. You don't need to wait until the new year, but if you didn't have a good year in 2017, then do what I did the previous year and set goals for yourself and use January 1st as a refresh button and just stay consistent in what you set out to do for the new year, because once you maintain a habit, it just becomes second nature. I want to thank you guys so much for the year of 2017. It has definitely been life-changing in a lot of ways, but there's definitely still a lot of things that I can work on. I also want to start a personal blog kind of talking about life in general. As you can tell, I like to talk about that stuff, entrepreneurship, and just ways that young entrepreneurs can figure out themselves and their craft and be able to build something out of it. I've just been so busy with the YouTube stuff, I haven't been able to get around to that. And I also want to do some public speaking as well because I love to talk and I love to travel. But I think I've talked enough in this video. It's gone on so long. I'm sorry if I bored you guys, but I hope there's some valuable information that helps you guys as well. I try to respond to a lot of emails and comments that you guys send me asking about how to get started, but I honestly just can't reply to all of them because I have like 30,000 emails in my inbox. I have so many videos to make, so I'm sorry, but I hope this video helped you guys out, and I'll see you guys in 2018.